So for this month's design team journal, I'm doing something a little different. I'm going to use my Cinch to put the journal all together. And what I've done is I've printed out all the pages and the ephemera and have those all cut up. So for the pockets that I'm going to create, which will be the main pages, I have taken, so I printed out the digital kit, and on the back side, before I did any cutting, I actually took this particular digital image and I cropped it so it would only print off just this little section on the page rather than print off a whole page, because I didn't need all that. So that's what's great about a digital kit, is that you have some versatility with using it. So I just did that in Word, to be quite honest with you. I try to do it in the most easiest thing there is. So I opened Word, I imported this image, and then I cropped it down to the size that I wanted, and then printed it out on my full sheet. So the next thing I'm going to do is I've cut everything down, and they've come out to 10 5/8 by 8 1/4. Okay. Now I want to take and score my pages. I have 6 of them, I believe, and I'm going to once again use my little cheat and put the two edges together and just do a little pinch here. Because this is a bit of an odd size, if you lined it up with your scoreboard, it would actually be a little bit past the 5 1/4 mark. So that's why I do the little cheat part, because now I know I can just line it up with the next slot here and be able to score my paper, and it will be in the center. I hope that makes sense. So we will just give this a fold and a burnish. And everything looks good. So I've already done all my other pages. How I selected these was I did ones that had like an image on them, but didn't have like lines for writing or anything like that, because there are some in the kit that have lines for writing, such as these. So that's the first part of our journal. Now that our pages are all folded, what we are going to do is add a decorative cutout to the top. So on the left-hand side will be where the page folds and opens, because this will be the side that we cinch it with our machine. We will be sealing the bottom part of this pocket, and then this will be one page. So at the top, what I've decided to do was something a little different. I know normally we would take a punch and cut both pages at one time, but I want to do something different this time. So using a 2.5 oval, because this is what I have, this is Paper Studio Punch, I have done a cutout here, and then on the back side of the page I've used a 2-inch scallop Paper Studio Punch and did a little cutout here. With this being folded, you'll be able to use the back part of the page as leverage to get your tag in and out of the page. For example, you could take this is your tag, you would just push, back on the back page and put it in real easy. Sometimes when the pages are cut out the same, it's difficult to get it in between the pages. This will allow some ease to getting it in between the pages. Even when it's on this side, you would push up or against this to go in real easy. I hope that makes sense. Maybe you'll be able to tell when I make the tags to go in it. So how I determined the circles, the placement of them, they're not even circles, they're like spheres, I guess. I actually took my Tim Holtz ruler and I lined it up with the 0 in the center and then put a little mark. And I actually did that on both sides. And then I took one punch and punched, and then the other one. With that being done, we now have 2 templates that we can use to cut out the other pages. Or you can go ahead and wing it, and then just, you know, I always turn this upside down when I use it. You could line up the line that you made, or again, if you don't do a line, just wing it, lining it up with the arrow on the machine, and then punch. I'm not going in all the way, not even half of the way, just a little bit. And then you would do the same with this one on the back side. Because I do have these cutouts, I think I'm going to use them as a guide. Sometimes I like to be exact, and I guess today is one of those days. So in this particular cutout, here is my line that I created before I punched it out. I'm going to align that with the line I already had on my paper. And then I could just make a little line at the bottom of it so that I know how far to go in to punch it. So I'm lining up where the first line is, and then I will look for the second one. Now that we have all of our cutouts at the top, what I'm going to do is seal the bottom of each of these pages, and I'm going to use my art glitter glue. This way anything we put into the pocket won't stick. When you use the wet adhesive, sometimes your tags can get stuck to them. Okay, so we will still have it open on this side. There's no need to glue this side since we are going to be using the cinch and putting a spiral binding on this side. So repeat that for each page. Now that we have the bottom page sealed, you can take some ink and ink up the sides if you like. Right now I think I'm just going to leave it the way it is. The white actually blends in with the design, so I'm just going to leave that alone for now. So as I use the unlined paper to make the pockets, I have used the lined paper, and that will be additional pages in the journal. So I've taken all of these and I've cut them down to 5 5/16, and we'll now take the pages and probably do like every other page or something with a pocket. So it'll be a page, a pocket, and so on. And then we'll start decorating pages. Okay, so I've done a bit of a mock-up of what the journal would look like. This is going to be the cover. I haven't figured out how I'm going to do that yet. And I've interspersed the pages with the pockets. So this would be the inside cover here. Huh, look. Cobalt blue, baby. And this is our first pocket. So here's our first single page. I've already kind of mocked up what we're going to do here. Okay, so let's get started with the back of the pocket. I've decided to place this fly free sentiment here. I thought that looked really cute. And what I'm doing is, for the first time, I'm using my Crafter's Squares foam sheets that I got from the Dollar Tree. I cut out a piece of that. I'm going to glue that on here and then stick that down. I wanted it to be raised, but not too far up, so this gives it a really slim dimension, and I'm kind of liking that idea. So I guess we'll just use some art glitter glue on this. Hopefully that'll be strong enough to hold that. use it on the back of the foam. I've already gone through and inked up everything using the Archival Ink Cobalt Blue, as you can tell by my finger. So we won't need to do any of that. I think I like that right there. Yeah, gives it just enough dimension, but not too much. And I'm thinking about when you go to write in the journal. Okay. For this side, when I put the fly free here, it just made me think of the birds trying to fly away, and it made me think of a window. And so what I did was I used this Dries Coordinations cardstock. It's already embossed, and I've used this back piece here. It's actually like this dark brown on one side and red on the other, and it's sandable. So when you sand it, it actually comes out a different color. So I cut out a window using my Cricut, and I decided to take just a scrap piece of the decorative paper that I had. I'm going to line that up like this. I went through the K & Company Susan Wingate layered accents, and I found some flowers which I think would go really great right there. And I didn't want to lose all the writing space, so what I've decided to do was create a hinge. This was another piece from the kit, and I'm going to cut these at an angle. I'm going to go ahead and ink these up just in case, because you will be able to see the one side when you open it. So the plan is, so the paper would be glued onto the window, and then we would glue our hinge onto the back of the window as well. So I put it at an angle so that it wouldn't be seen on the side here. I will glue that down, and then this will be glued onto the page, and you'll be able to flip it up. Okay? That's the plan. First, I'm going to start by adding some glue around the frame of the window. And then we'll put our piece on top of that. There we go. Gonna give that a little bit of a burnish. And the next thing we'll do is put our little hinge on here. I'm trying to center it and have it be close to the edge here. Okay. So using my tools, I've kind of mapped out where I want to put the window. I'm using the scissors and the bone folder here to denote where to lay this top part. Right on that line. Okay, let's glue this down. I'm going to move those so I can make sure I'm getting it somewhat centered here. Whoops. Okay. Now on the underside here, you can do writing here. You could put a photo there. I thought about putting a journaling card, but then I don't know, I haven't decided yet. I mean, I think it looks fine, but I also would like to leave some, you know, ideas for the person that owns it. So next we're going to add on our little flower. I am putting this at a bit of an angle. And I thought about doing flowers all the way across, but I don't know, I kind of like this better. It pulls out the pink in the decorative paper behind it. And then when you flip it up, there you go. So when we put that in our book, it will go along with the flowers over here and the pink as well. On the next page, I really didn't want to do too much to it because I wanted there to be writing ability, but I remembered using my rhombus die and I had some extra pieces here. So I thought I might put those down on this page. Over here in this corner. Not sure if I'm going to use this big one. Kind of wanted to have at least 3. So I could do it that way. Or just use the 3 small ones. Actually, now that I've seen the big one there, I think it needs something big. To balance this. Let's see how that looks against the page next to it. Yeah, I think that's good because then the screen gets pulled in. Okay, yeah, I'm liking that. I will glue those down. Okay, on to the next page. For this page, I kind of wanted to, again, leave it for journaling, but I did want to bring out this corner and make it to be like a top tuck. So what I've done is I reprinted this corner here, and then I also took a scrap piece of paper. This is cardstock, probably 80 pounds from Michael's. And I just, you know, lined it up and then cut it out around it. And then I thought I would add it right there. Yeah, I like that. And then you could tuck up underneath there. So I'm going to glue all this down. So I use the sticky thumb to put the decorative paper down, but I'm going to use art glitter glue to make the pocket, if it'll come out. just align this right up with the corner there. And the edge of the paper. I got glue on my finger. Okay, so then see, this will tuck right up underneath there. Very cute. On the next page, what I'm going to do, there was a corner pocket in the digital kit and this little journaling card. And I'm going to add this to the page just so you can see how it will look. And I'm going to do it a little bit higher than normal because I want to add this pom-pom trim that I had in my stash. I think I got it from a swap. And I thought about letting it dangle, but then I'm like, I probably won't have anything else be dangling below the level of the pages. So I thought I would just put it on the page itself. And because it is so super soft, you guys, I don't even know what material this is, but it's so soft that I thought it wouldn't add, you know, very much bulk because it's soft and squishy. Okay, so I'm going to add this here, and then we'll have this cute little journaling card in there. And then I found this in my remnant stash as well. And I've decided to put that up here at the top of this particular card. So I'm going to glue all that down. So after I've added everything, this is what it looks like. This comes right out. What's nice about the fabric, it allows you to have an easier pull to get it out of the pocket. Very cute. I think I keep saying that. Okay, for this page, I again thought it would be fun to add a cage to the birds, and at first I was just going to do it like this and let that be it, but then, you know, you're losing space, and so I reprinted this particular image, and I'm going to glue it onto this die cut here that I created with my Cricut, and I believe I'm going to have it swing open so that you can add a photo here if you wanted, but then you have the surprise of the birds there. I lined it up to the bottom here. I'm sorry I don't talk when I'm gluing. Okay, I've decided to leave this paper on it because if you were going to put a photo, then it actually just gives you that much more room to put a photo on there. I am going to use this washi tape. I don't know what kind it is. I just know that the colors match really, really well. So we'll go ahead and put it on this side first. You know what, I think I'll put a little glue here because we all know how well washi sticks sometimes, or doesn't stick. And there you have it. What's great about this is it actually looks like it might be hanging because it goes to the edge of the page. So the next page that we're going to do is actually the back side of the birdcage page. And really we're just going to put a simple, you know, decorative element on here. There were some flags and these little, like little tea cards. And I thought we would put one up here at the top and layer that on there. But do it in a way that you could still tuck something under there if you wanted to. So let's see. That's about where I want it. I tried putting lace and stuff in there as well, you know, in between the layers, but it made it bulky, and then it just didn't show what I wanted. So I decided to not put any lace or other fabric there. Now, let's see if we put this here. Okay, I'm going to do it at the top and down the sides. Let's see if we put this one there instead. Okay, so that works there. So you can still write and be able to tuck stuff under there. Now on this side, this actually was a pocket in the digital kit. I cut off the side and the bottom piece that where you would be able to fold it over and make a little pocket. Because what I decided to do was make this a tag, and then I cut this part off to be a pocket. I just thought, okay, first of all, I love this page. I love the coloring, and I thought to put something in the center, almost like its own frame. And then for the tag, I found this little bit of lace in my remnants bag and thought I would add that to the top here, and that would just go perfectly right there. For the pocket, we are just going to put a little glue on the edge, on the bottom, and on the other side. For the tag, I thought I would just fold this little piece over. I think I want it to go this way. And I think I'm just going to staple it. What I like about the edge of this little fabric that I found, it kind of matches or mirrors the little floral that's in here. So that was kind of cool. Okay, now our next page. So on this page, again, I'm leaving it for writing, but I did want to add an element to it. There was a little card in the digital kit that I cut down and around, and I found this like slide frame in my stash. This is so old, I don't even know where I got it, but I thought I would use this to put the image in. Look, the glue is yellow. That's how old it is. So I'm just going to add some more glue to make sure it stays in there. Add the image. And that's what it will look like. But I'm going to go ahead and glue this shut. So cute. And then I'll go ahead and add some glue on the back side, and we'll get this placed on our page. I had thought about putting something up here, but then there's something about it being here that I like. So I'm going to go ahead and place that down. So the slide says family. It had a transparency paper in there. Okay, there we go. On our next page, it's going to be pretty easy. I cut this out of one of the pages in the kit, and I'm just going to glue it here on this side and make it a pocket. So here's a piece of ephemera that's in the digital kit, and what I've decided to do with that was another one of those, fold out pages. So I'm going to again use this washi tape and adhere that on the side. On this particular page, I decided to leave it as is because it allows writing space here. And then that takes us to our last, the other side of the page that we're going to decorate. And that will be the last part of the pages. This here is going to be the inside back cover. So on this page, what I decided to use was some of the pieces from the ephemera within the kit. I have layered 2 banners together, and I like when they're staggered so they're not the same length. And I'm going to put that up here at the top. There's this cute little bird in there, this hummingbird. I'm going to layer that on top, and then there's this sentiment that says, "Though she be but little, she is fierce." And we'll layer that right below on the page like that. And you'll be able to tuck underneath there as well as right on the page. And that will be the last of the decorating for the pages.